All right, guys. Welcome to the fourth installment of the Indie Rebellion podcast. I am your host, Iceman, third ID on this January 30th. We're going to be starting here pretty soon, and I'll introduce my co-hosts. How is everybody doing tonight? It is a wonderful day in the land of the cold wonderland that I live in, the American Serengeti, the lower 48's Alaska, pretty much. It's been like -8 degrees. It's been ridiculous. However, it's been okay. I've survived. All right, let's go ahead and say hello to everybody. All right. Welcome, guys. As always, with me, co-host to the podcast is Boondock. Boondock, how are you doing this evening?
Unmute myself. Not bad, bud. How you doing tonight?
Man, if I was doing better, I'd be twins. We don't need that much ugly running around. You know what I mean?
Oh, come on now, dude. Don't be too hard on yourself.
We definitely don't need that much Henri running around. But so this is the fourth episode of the Indie Rebellion podcast, Indie and Rebellion. At the end of the show, we picked up some new subscribers, some new rebels, as I'm calling them. That was Boone's idea. We're calling you guys rebels because that's what you are when you join the Indie Rebellion podcast. You're my rebels. So we got a few of you guys that came over with Miss Metal from last week, and I'll go ahead and shout you out at the end of the episode. However, we have our co-host, Mania, here with us.
That's me.
Yes. How are you doing this evening, Mania?
I'm alive, Can't complain too much.
You ready to rock and roll with this podcast?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
So prepared.
So Mania happens to be our Gen Z liaison. So whenever we tread on the Gen Z flag, he lets us know, hey, stay off there. Don't tread on me. Don't tread on my Gen Z flag.
Yep.
Boone, he makes YouTube content. He's been a Twitch streamer. He's been a YouTube streamer. Now he's a content creator on YouTube, and he's been around the block a few times, just like I have. And he's a real good friend of mine. Been with me through thick and thin. We've seen a lot of stuff together. We chewed a lot of the same dirt. And
true story.
Even if we weren't doing this podcast, we'd be hanging out together anyway tonight. So that's just how that works.
How many times have we been hanging out during the night and just been either shooting the shit or going crazy in a game and been like, man, we should have been recording this or something. We should be fucking live or some shit.
Every night.
So it's just, this is basically, it's like we're streaming that, but with somewhat of a format.
Somewhat of a format, yeah. I mean, you got to have something to talk about on a podcast, right? You can't just talk about nothing for 2.5 hours and expect people to watch it, right? So you got to kind of point it in a direction, and that direction that I usually point the podcast is, we've got some content that we all enjoy talking about for the most part. I know I've known Mania for a couple of years now, and we kind of all share the same interest a little bit. One of our common interests is Elon Musk. We like talking about AI news. We like talking about crazy things that are happening in the news, current events, that type of thing. But mostly it's all like technology and video game centric, space exploration centric. It goes in a direction where it's kind of futurism in a Gen Z way. Does that make sense? Or not a Gen Z way, but a Gen X way. Futurism in a Gen X way, which means I slightly look towards the past while looking way far into the future, right? Because Gen Z is the future, man. They're gonna be the ones boarding the rockets to Mars Not us. I'm gonna be
That
taking
is
them
true.
over.
Building
That is true. So listen, guys, get it together, okay? Because like all the big shots are making their way out, and you guys have to inherit that shit. And including my generation also has to inherit that shit. So it's like it was like the start of the downfall, right? Because like
we're already taking in all the bad shit right now.
So step it up.
Yeah, come on. Like, whatever happened to Segways, man? I was so excited for my generation to take over Segways and make something of them.
Oh,
but
you
they disappeared.
actual Segways, like the things
you yeah.
I thought you were talking about like, there's no segues in the conversation anymore.
Conversational segues. I was like, dang, dude, all right.
Man. I remember when I was like a little kid and I was watching Paul Blart Mall Cop. I was like, those things are sick. They're going to be everywhere in the future.
Yep.
And they just don't exist anymore.
No. Wait a minute. Wasn't there a Segway scandal? Like the Segway guy killed himself or something?
I haven't heard nothing about that.
I think that's one of the reasons why the Segway like failed, was because there was
he
like
killed himself with a Segway.
What was it? What was Segway?
As you it was like a. It was
you
like
know
a
the hoverboard
with a
you mean the fucking those Segways?
Yeah, Segways. Man.
They're not a thing. They're not a thing. No, because they chopped the handles off and just made them hoverboards.
Put them in hoverboards. Yeah. Yes.
My kids got them.
Yeah, if you got a handle on yours, dude, you're just an old person now.
Yeah. That's what it was like. It took like a couple years before people were like, "Why the fuck is this handle on this thing, dude? Like, take this thing off here." Yeah. One dude like took a sawzall and like just sliced it off, and then they're like, "Oh, it's a thing now."
Have you guys seen those rideable wheels in Japan? It's like a wheel, and you
just the one.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's so.
That was kind of cool. It works on the same type of technology as it.
It's balanced. What is it called? Gyroscopical motion.
There we go.
You control motion with the gyroscopics.
I'll go with that.
You're gyroscopic.
He's looking pretty gyroscopic tonight, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah, I'm trying a new camera angle.
Oh, that's nice. I actually like the camera angle, dude. That's good.
Yeah. Did you switch it? Oh yeah, I guess you did.
Yeah. You kind of look like you're in hell a little bit, like Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, kind of. It feels that way. It's really hot in here. I don't have my jacket on today because it's hot.
Yeah.
All those red lights are fucking heat lamps.
Yeah, basically.
I
used to have some on the ceiling too, so floor and ceiling. It was like sitting in an incubator.
Dang, dude, you look like Lucifer.
Like if I get that a lot.
If Lucifer were like a 21-year-old anime fan, like that.
Anime fan.
Yeah,
anime fan.
Did I not pronounce it correctly? Did I?
You sound like you have Down syndrome.
Did I not put
you pronounced it right. You just emphasized the wrong part.
That was a Theo Vaughn reference, by the way. I'm not fucking attacking.
Did I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable?
Yeah, that's the one.
All right.
We're watching that anime.
All right, so one of my teammates here is gonna start dropping these links in the chat. And since you guys came over, a lot of our new rebels this week are from Metal's podcast. You guys already, or not podcast, but Metal's Twitch stream. Excuse me. You guys probably already know how to get to her, but in case you don't, we'll go ahead and drop those in there too. And I'd like to thank Miss Metal for being on the show last week. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it this week, and I hope she feels better soon.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry, I already gave her shit.
However, her links will be in the chat, and thank you for bringing over some of your audience to my audience, and now we're all rebels together.
Yes.
So I guess it's time to, as much as I like to just hang out with you guys, as much as I like to, chit chat, have a good time, that's not what keeps the lights on around here. What keeps the lights on around here is advertisers, right? And how do you think I pay for my perfectly groomed lawn? Huh? How do you think I pay for that?
Are you still paying in the middle of February? I mean, January, end of January. You still paying for that lawn treatment?
Anybody that knows me knows I don't have a perfectly groomed lawn. But if I did, I'd tell all those kids out there on the street, stay off my lawn because I'm old and I don't want anybody walking on it. Sick of this. But it makes me look like kind of a dick. You know what I mean?
Well, the shoe fits, right?
Right? But you don't have to look like a dick. That's the thing. There's a company out there to help you with that. It's called KidsGo. KidsGo is a company that I'd like to introduce you to. Have you ever changed a sprinkler head in early spring, just have it broken by some heavy-footed Twinkie eater? Have you ever been inside the comfort of your own home, imagining the serene 1/4 acre slice of perfectly manicured nature that is your lawn, only to look out the window and find some teenage girl with too much makeup on her face flicking a cigarette butt into your horticulture heaven? Say hello to a stress-free lawn with KidsGo. Our cutting-edge automated services utilizes drones to provide a hooligan-free yard all summer long. No more mess, no more hassle. Simply sit back, relax, and enjoy a tidy lawn. Visit the KidsGo website in the description today and experience the future of hassle-free yards. Our patented yard defense drones utilize less lethal options such as pepper spray and shock devices to disperse everything from unwanted passersby to the occasional stray pet. No more yelling, "Get off my lawn!" From now on, sit back, watch through the window as the neighborhood develops a healthy level of respect for your property. Use the promo code Indie Rebellion now to receive an introductory discount on the first month of service from KidsGo today. How's that sound? Would you do something like that, Boone?
I would, dude, if I had a lawn to worry about, but like for sure, man, the past couple of years, when it comes to lawns, it's been a nightmare. So
Really?
Slap a drone on there, shoot a couple kids, kick a couple raccoons.
Yeah, slap a drone on there and shoot a couple kids. That'd be good. What about you, Mania? Would you do something like that?
I don't own my property, nor do I have a lawn, but I would definitely take this out on a walk or two.
Sure.
Now, testing on those dogs, dude.
Like I told you guys, I never promote a product I don't believe in. I try every single one of the products that's promoted on this channel, and I can tell you that after throwing several cats at one of those drones, my cats stay off my lawn now. 100%. 100%. It works.
Just pick up Loki and like whip him across the yard.
Yeah. And he doesn't even go out the back door anymore. It's great.
No?
Nope. That sounds like something that you would see on Mars.
Yeah.
Like drones shocking and pepper spraying people to get them to go.
Yeah. All those Mars inhabitants up there.
Right. And I think they'd probably be, they would have to be like SpaceX drones.
I'm pretty sure the Opportunity rover was fitted with a beanbag launcher. Just in case. I didn't know. But, I mean, that's a perfect segue into Elon news, right?
Yes, let's go over some Elon news. What do we got in Elon
Wait, hold on,
news
time out.
this week?
Time out. That reminded me. Did you guys see that story where they used a little Mars rover to defuse a bomb at a bank?
Nope.
Not a Mars rover. I'm sure it was a bomb diffusing drone used by the bomb squad.
No, that's the one that they used to blow up the guy. They used a Mars rover to defuse a bomb at a bank.
The Mars rovers are like the size of a car.
Blow them up. No, the little one with like the little tiny head cam at the top.
No, there's
So
no
it
little
looked like a
Mars
Mars
rover.
rover.
All the
I'll
Mars
find
rovers
the
are
story.
like the size of a car or half of a car. They're pretty big.
I mean, if you believe they're real.
I'm not even going to entertain that comment. Let's see. Let's.
I have it under good authority that all of the Mars photographs are just run through an orange filter, and they're actually landscape photos from Greenland.
Well, that's why ice
We can
doesn't.
save that for the ending segment.
Oh, we're not talking about that bullshit conspiracy theory. I don't even believe that. Come
on. Well, while you're looking that up, let's go into Elon and Twitter, since that seems to be a weekly story that we have to cover. It comes with the territory with him. But it seems he is pushing forward with his new Twitter payment vision as the company has begun applying for regulatory licenses across the U.S. and designating the software required to introduce payments across the platform and search for a new revenue. Insiders say that Esther Crawford, who is a fast-rising Musk lieutenant, has started to map out the architecture needed to facilitate payments on the platform with a small team. Crawford's team is devising a vault for storing and protecting the user data that would be collected by the system, and therefore protected. Musk also wants to add cryptocurrencies later, but stated fiat currencies would be first and foremost. Dogecoin then spiked to a 24-hour high after the news. Because that is, I mean, he's stated his deep love for Dogecoin over the past couple of years.
Well,
so
yeah,
obviously
he's involved with that somehow, right?
Man, I wish I knew the backstory, but I know he's the reason why it's even a thing.
But
and it's even talked about.
That was like his.
It was like a meme. It started as a meme, didn't it?
I guess.
Fucking like.
But I thought that he had something to do with it, though. Like from the corporation standpoint of it. Like,
Jamie, can you look that up?
He didn't. Yeah, Jamie, can you go ahead and look that up?
What am I looking up?
What Elon had to do with Dogecoin?
Yeah, what's his
if anything, other than making it popular?
Oh, he mentioned it once.
That's it?
Well, it doesn't go deeper than that?
He mentioned it. He basically mentioned he was in support of it, and then everybody hyped it up because he was going to be on SNL. And it was like 2 days previous that he mentioned he supported it. And then 2 days later, he was supposed to mention it on SNL. That's why everybody freaked out, because they're like, he's going to mention it on Saturday Night Live, and then it's going to get really popular, and the price is going to spike. And then he just turned into Mario instead.
Huh.
Okay. Well, there's a little bit of backstory on that. All right. Mm-hmm. Dogcoin.
Doge.
Dog.
Dogcoin.
Yeah, you pronounce it dog.
Doggy coin. What if we just capitalize the E in the middle?
He didn't even say he liked it. He didn't even say he liked it. He said in an interview that it was inflationary and piqued his interest.
That's it?
Yeah.
He has so much pull when it comes to stocks, when it comes to cryptocurrency, I don't know if there's ever been so much in the financial world that has relied on what comes out of a single human being's mouth.
I mean, dude, look, if heaven help us if Elon Musk ever says that he loves eggs, milk, and bread, because every store is going to be sold out.
It's going to be COVID all over again, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So.
Well, moving on from that, we won't cover that anymore. He's in the middle of his whole lawsuit and everything too. We've covered that for the past 2 weeks in a row. We're not going to go into that. Let's go into SpaceX. Cleanse the palate.
Okay.
There's a Falcon 9 that is topped with 49 Starlink spacecraft, as well as a rideshare payload from the Italy-based company D-Orbit, which is kind of a sketchy name for something you're launching out in space. Is it not?
Yeah,
I'm not alone there, right?
Sketchy. That's a little sketchy. I mean, unless that's what you're planning on doing with it.
Think D-Orbit, when you're thinking about that name, when you're trying to come up for a name for a company that has the plans to eventually send satellites up into space.
Okay, yeah.
Deorbit?
Yeah, but what if it's a satellite that deorbits things?
That the what? The orbit what?
No,
Stinks?
what if it's a satellite that deorbits things?
Well, then my question would be, why is there an Italy-based rideshare company trying to deorbit shit?
Well, what I'm saying, okay, so
unless that's a front.
The Kessler syndrome, right? So if you're trying to combat the Kessler syndrome, by policy, everything that goes into space is supposed to have a slightly unstable orbit, and it's supposed to have a timeline to which it's naturally going to deorbit.
It's supposed to eventually deorbit,
right?
Yeah.
Well, what if something's up there that won't deorbit? Then you got to send something up there to deorbit it. It'll attach, and then you have to slow it down so it will deorbit.
Mm-hmm.
And then both spacecraft will deorbit at the same time, therefore avoiding some weird Kessler syndrome situation where everything just breaks apart and turns into crap. So maybe that could be it.
Right now, tonight, what's the date? It's the 30th, January 30th. Let it be heard that we are starting the conspiracy theory that Italy-based company Deorbit is trying to do exactly that.
I'm just saying it could happen.
We'll cover it next week in our conspiracy section.
I mean, what do you think the satellite's going up there for?
I mean, it's a rideshare thing, so I'm assuming it's a GPS. It's for a GPS functionality for their company.
Well, they're ride sharing. They're ride sharing with Falcon, right? It's on a Falcon 9. So the ride.
Well, that's just the car that's bringing it up there, essentially.
So what I'm saying is Starlink is owned by SpaceX, who owns the Falcon 9. So really, they're just renting the space out to a rocket they were going to send up anyway.
Well, the deorbit is renting space in the Falcon 9.
Correct. Yeah. So that's what they mean by rideshare. It's just, hey, yeah, we're going up anyway. You want to catch a lift or what? That's why they're
talking about. Is that what it means? It's not a rideshare company? You don't know. Let's look this up.
No,
let's look up what deorbit is.
That's probably why there's only 49 Starlink satellites on there, is because they can't fit anymore on there.
Elon news is taking longer. Deorbit. Okay. Space logistics and orbital transportation services. That's what they are. They have 7 orbital transportation missions, 26 hosted payloads, 73 satellites deployed, and the next launch is January this month, and it's going to be tomorrow.
Okay.
And that launch is scheduled for 11:15 Eastern.
What are they classified doing? As a launch and deployment company.
There you go. That's what I'm guessing. Okay. I'm guessing we haven't said anything that proves me wrong yet.
No, I don't think so.
So it could happen. I'm not saying that's what's going on. I'm just saying I'm not wrong yet.
We're going to go with it like it's a factual comment.
I'm not saying it's factual. I'm just
saying
fact.
That's what you're saying.
I'm saying
ICE is saying that right now. Quote him.
It's potentially factual.
All right. Also, signs point to a static test fire of Starship this week.
Ooh.
After a successful dress rehearsal last week in which the rocket was loaded with more than 10 million pounds of propellant.
I like putting my rocket in a dress.
Do you like to load it up with propellant?
Yeah. Oh, I found it.
Okay, what
is it?
Their startup in 2013 was based around their satellite deorbiter. But it's just a small modular solid fluid motor that's attached to a satellite to provide a deorbit burnout at the end of the spacecraft's working life.
Yeah.
Very nice.
What's up?
Good job.
Pounding it. Dink. Yeah. That was on a hunch, dude. I've never
heard of these. I mean, it's exactly what it's supposed to say.
All right.
They thought about it. Okay.
Yeah, it was tested in 2014, and that's the last we've heard of it. So it probably didn't go well.
Well, it's now starting to make its rounds, but this payload is they haven't specified what that payload is that they have on there. So I
it's
guess
all of Elon's clones.
His seed.
Yeah.
Man. So SpaceX removed its upper stage of the spacecraft in preparation for the static test, in which its 33 Raptor engines, each capable of producing nearly 510,000 pounds of thrust, will be engaged simultaneously. So the question is it going to survive that without getting any boo-boos?
You would think, right?
That's kind of the point.
You would think.
But that is insane.
It's an insane amount of thrust. That's a lot of get up and go juice.
All, I believe they're all thrust vectoring.
Yeah, I think so, right?
As well.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a giant. It's a giant.
That thing's huge, man.
With a lot of power.
That reminds me of Marvin the Martian. You remember Marvin the Martian?
No, I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, you do, dude.
There's no way you don't know who Marvin Martian. Okay, yeah.
Not supposed to believe, man. You guys know me better than that. Come on now.
He was always trying to trick people into his spaceship. He's always trying to take off. Yeah, that's kind of what Elon
trick
Musk
people into a spaceship.
Yeah. He was always trying to shoot him with a ray gun and then take him into a spaceship and kidnap him.
He talks all funny. I would try to mimic his voice.
I would too. I was going to, but I don't think I'd do it very well.
Somebody at work says I sound like Marvin the Martian.
You do kind of.
If you tried, you probably you probably nail it.
Can you do it right now?
I haven't seen him in years. I don't even know what he sounds like.
Huh.
Oh, he talks under his breath like that. Kinda. If you did it, would be great.
I don't know, man.
I think you could do it.
I don't know.
All right. Well, onward and upward.
I was just trying to always put people on the spot to do stuff. You tried to get Metal to sing last week.
I
did.
Well, it's fun.
I nailed it.
Yeah, you did.
Was that not me?
Space modulator. All right. So in other news. Besides this is actually close. This is actually close to Elon Musk news because that's disgusting. Don't pick it up off the floor and eat it.
Dude, come on now.
No, don't.
No,
don't do it. Don't do it. You got a lot to live
for. What are you trying to insinuate about my floor?
Don't do it.
Might have landed in some cat piss, and I could get schizophrenia.
Do a quick
schizophrenia.
Yeah, from cat piss.
What?
Dude. Yeah, they got pheromones.
Yeah, I said that my cat's going to give me schizophrenia.
No,
that's some Osmosis Jones type shit right there.
No, for real, cats cause schizophrenia. Look that shit up.
It is a theory. I did look it up, but it's not confirmed. There's nothing that confirmed.
Okay, then why they tell pregnant women to stay away from cat boxes then?
Because the odors and ammonia that come from cat shit and piss, which, let me take this opportunity to say, clean your litter boxes often, okay? Like, don't let that shit sit for a fucking week. So many people, like every other person I meet with a cat, just lets that shit simmer.
Just
all right?
Don't
let it simmer. Get it out of there.
If you put it out in the garage and it's -8 degrees out, you can't even smell it.
True.
But go ahead.
It fills up quick, though.
It does do that.
So, yes, that odor that comes from cat piss and shit is not good for anybody, especially a pregnant woman trying to get it. Not because
the baby
she's going to give birth to a schizophrenic baby.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
the baby's going to come out and already it's going to be like... Ooh.
Yeah, it's always going to be hearing voices. You're never going to get it to sleep. It's just... It's going to be like talking its own language.
Hey, fucking schizophrenic babies, dude.
Yeah.
Cats give schizophrenic babies.
Cats do give schizophrenic babies, dude. All right, so... Elon Musk, where's he out of? somewhere in
right now, Texas.
Texas, right? So here's some weather, some Texas weather. Texas winter weather advisory is causing mass school closures as the cold front is expected to wreak havoc across middle Texas. When asked if the Eagles would win the Super Bowl again this year, Dallas Cowboys stated, "When hell freezes over."
Well, there you go. You see? So we calling it right now?
We're calling it.
Eagles?
We're calling that's what the Dallas Cowboys say, and they're always right.
All right.
Masked man, in further news, a masked man tosses a Molotov cocktail at a synagogue in New Jersey. Kanye West could not be reached for comment. Although a pair of Yeezys were found 5 blocks away.
I knew it. Mm-hmm. I knew it.
Next, in headline news, and an unfortunate turn of events. Have you guys ever played hide and seek?
My whole childhood.
Right? It's fun. Except, what's the one thing? What's the one prank that you can do with hide and seek that always happens? Is it's your turn to go hide, and then everybody just quits playing, and then
you did too good of a job hiding.
Yeah, you're just left there for an hour because no one's ever going to find you.
Mm-hmm. And it's like a battle of patience. Do you solidify the fact that you won, or do you risk jumping out and the game not being over to get caught? You know, it's kind of like you kind of have to stick in there and to fight with your pride.
Dude, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you while playing hide and seek?
Dude, not too much. Honestly, however, we used to play hide and seek in an extreme way. It would be at night, and it would be throughout the woods and the entire property. So there wasn't really any limits. And then we would jump on the roof of the garage, or jump up in the trees, or go deep up in the woods and shit.
Right.
And those rounds of hide and seek would go the distance. They would. So it would last like fucking an hour.
I would always. No, go ahead.
I was playing hide and seek in elementary school once, and this kid named Zach tried to hide on top of all the playground equipment, but he fell off. He fell off, and a wood chip went through his cheek.
What?
Yeah.
Through?
Yeah.
It
didn't go all the way through, but it went into his cheek. You know.
What?
All right, that's pretty gnarly. That's pretty cool.
Why were there wood chips down there?
It's playground, dude.
That's the playground had wood chips.
What was on your playgrounds as a kid?
Dude, what kind of sharp wood chips are you guys dealing with down there? And your playgrounds?
Sounds like a pine, I think.
He fell from like 10 feet, so it doesn't have to be that sharp. That's a lot of...
Dude, we got to do something about these playgrounds.
Just one wood chip, one sharp wood chip that's just sticking out perfectly right into the spot where his face happens to land enough to go through. Any other time, it's a freak accident. Like, that shit doesn't happen all the time. This was a freak accident that happened to this kid.
I mean, I guess, freak wood chip accident.
Pretty crazy.
They're pretty common, really. If you look it up, it's pretty common.
I don't think so.
In an unfortunate turn of events, recently a teenager playing hide and seek with his friends. So what I used to do when I played hide and seek was I would always use it as an excuse to steal food and then go eat it while I was hiding. Like Twinkies and Ho-Hos and like stuff like that. Yeah, dude. So I wasn't allowed to have any of that stuff, but I'm already hiding. So it's like I might as well eat something while I'm in here, you know. So I just go ahead and slam a Twinkie or slam a Ho-Ho, and then when they'd find me, I'd be all like, "Do you have anything to drink?" You know what I mean? Because you gotta wash that stuff down, dude. It's all sugary and whatnot. Anyway.
All right, you found me. Where's your milk?
Yeah,
where's your milk?
Yeah, let me get some milk, bro. I need some milk. A teenager playing hide and seek with his friends opted to hide in a shipping container and was found days later in another country. That's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to that kid playing hide and seek. I can guarantee you that.
What country was this?
I don't know what country. I just said another country. I don't think they wanted to give out any details, man. Because
he just showed
China.
He just showed up on Andrew Tate's doorstep.
Yeah. I was gonna say nobody wants to get accused of human trafficking. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude was playing hide and seek, got human trafficked.
And then that was the story. It's like, no, he was playing hide and seek. It was an accident.
The craziest part is somehow Amazon found out about it, and later, his parents received a new child from Amazon, free of charge.
Solid.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a bargain.
You know what else gets shipped in shipping containers besides teenagers?
What?
Fighter jets.
Really?
Not really.
I don't know.
But France is considering training Ukrainian fighter jet pilots to retreat.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. That's France.
Yeah. So that's good. That's what
they probably trademark it too, huh?
They probably would. This is the French way. All right, so get your vacation shorts packed. Yeah, you guys like vacations?
Yeah.
Well, get your shorts packed. Your Bermuda shorts, your vacation shorts, your favorite pair of swim trunks. Get them packed because we're going on vacation.
Where to?
China.
China
is beginning to lift travel bans due to COVID-19 and authoritarian communist regimes.
Oh, so it's safe and clean now?
No, it's not safe or clean. But they're lifting travel bans. So there you go. We're going to China.
Good enough for me.
If you're feeling risky.
We're going to Sichuan.
Say something. Is that salad dressing?
It's a pretty saucy area.
It is very saucy. As a matter of fact,
saucy. Say it like that again.
Saucy. Saucy. In the Chinese province of Sichuan, couples are now allowed to have unlimited children.
Really?
Yes.
That's progress.
Well, right? They can be just like the rest of the world.
There was a limit for a bit.
They said that this is the People's Republic of China is dubbing this the year of the sexy rabbit. In other Asia news, North Korea denies providing Russians with weapons. Also, Russia denies taking weapons from North Korea and taking the ugly girl to the prom.
Oh my God.
Because who would believe
Who the hell would want it?
Who the hell would want North Korean weapons? They've
been rocking the same weapons from they've been trying to refurbish their weapons from the 70s for the past
Dude, I saw one of
years.
their guns one time. It was just a rock with a North Korean flag painted on it. You just throw it.
Effective though. Hit a motherfucker in the head with that.
Yeah, you just throw it.
He'll see that glorious flag before he goes, dude.
So North Korea, not sending weapons to Russia. So they're out of that. They're out of the sending weapons to Russia game.
I wouldn't be interested to know where that rumor even started. Because I feel like everyone collectively would be like, yeah, I hear North Korea is sending weapons to Russia. It's like,
what?
What? Okay.
Dude, they can't even send
a bunch of anything out of the country.
A bunch of weapon parts.
No, they can't send rice to Russia.
They can't send shit. They can't even get shit. They can't get shit. They can't send shit out. I don't know. They're shipping weapons parts on canoes.
The only thing they're sending to Russia is hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams.
That's it. And then those are getting taxed.
Yep.
A man in London, speaking of hopes and dreams, have you guys ever been to the entertainment district in London?
No, I can't say I have.
No? All right, well, so here's something they have in the entertainment district down there. So one of the problems that they've had over the years, and you can see videos of this all online, and they thought this was going to be a fix to the problem, and so far it pretty much has. But one of the problems they have at night in the entertainment districts is people have to pee because people have been drinking, but there's no
Just
bathrooms.
pissing on the sidewalk.
And so they just piss on the sidewalk. They just piss in the gutter. They piss everywhere on the street, and it becomes a problem because everybody's pissing, right? So they installed urinals, but they didn't want the urinals during the day because it ruins the scenery, right? So what they did was they got big brain, and they decided to install retractable urinals that are accessible at night, but then retract during the day down into the ground, right? Pretty smart idea. You know what I mean? That's some big brain thinking right there. Well,
yeah.
A man in London was crushed by a retractable urinal. These urinals that are dotted around London's entertainment districts are retracted during the day and accessible at night. In a comment from the emergency workers on the scene, they said, "Man, that's a shitty way to die."
That is, but I mean, that being said, though, is there any warning signals or anything behind this? I'm wondering if there's if some type of bell goes off or something, because you'd think if that happened, then the possibility has been there this whole time. And how the fuck, like, do they just go down? Like, this dude was just sitting there having his fucking cup of coffee in the morning. He's about to head to work, and then a fucking urinal out of nowhere just fucking
got attacked.
Just crushes him
by a wild urinal.
Just trying to enjoy his morning cig, bro.
Dude, man, you don't want to mess with those wild urinals, bro. They're in their environment. They're in their habitat. You're not. You know what I mean? Like, you think
this
that's your habitat, but
there's this show called The Good Place, right? Which is basically, it's like a show about heaven. It's a funny show. It's a comedy show, comedy sitcom. And the thing about it is that if you die in an embarrassing way, then you don't remember how you died once you die. Once you get to heaven, you won't have any recollection of your death because you died embarrassingly. So the universe is trying to save you the embarrassment. That guy doesn't remember how he died. He doesn't know how it happened.
Okay.
You got no idea.
No, probably not. Probably not. Unless that's how he wanted to go, you know? He was like, "Man, I'm gonna get one of these urinals one of these days, dude."
Or what if he was having a bad day and he's like, "Let's go.
I'm gonna catch one of these urinals slipping."
He's got in a fight with his wife. You know what? How would you like it if I got fucking caught a urinal in the face today, huh? How'd you like that shit? I'm so done with this shit. This fucking job, these fucking kids, this wife.
He's been staking out this urinal for like weeks, you know? Just seeing its
watching it go up and down. And he's like,
watching its patterns. He's got a little notebook out, taking notes and stuff.
Yeah.
No, so I actually did read the article, and apparently he was working on the urinal. He was a repairman that was sent to repair said urinal, and apparently he repaired it too quick.
So what had to have been done?
Or not quick enough. Or not quick enough.
Him to actually have to go repair the urinal.
Well, so they're on hydraulics, right? So, and those hydraulic systems, sometimes they get sticky, especially in the cold. Like, hydraulics don't always work in the cold. So I'm guessing, this is just me speculating, and you know how me and speculation goes. I'm always right. What happened was probably there was a valve that got stuck because of the cold, and he probably bumped it, and it just went boop, and probably just closed right on him.
Ooh. Yeah. Do they retract into the street or what?
Yes.
They just come up in and out. All right.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. But
it's a rough way to go.
I think if you were going to get the full story, you'd probably have to get the documents are probably classified.
You think so?
Probably.
Well, you think they call DocDash?
They might. They might call DocDash.
Have you guys heard of DocDash?
I have a feeling you're about to tell me.
I'm about to tell you. Here's DocDash. Where this company, I'm sure, has been having a hard time finding a place to store their documents pertaining to this particular case because they don't want their sweet street urinal to be ruined. I'm sure they're making a lot of money on it. They could have used someone like DocDash. If you're having trouble finding a spot to store all of those classified documents, Call DocDash. Why keep classified documents in your vacation home when you can store them in an offsite location that you have plausible deniability of? Introducing DocDash, the personal document storage service for those more discreet clients. With our extensive geocache network for dead drop locations, our team of highly specialized couriers, and a blockchain-style logistics AI, you can be rest assured that the documents in question are barely findable by yourself, let alone a Nazi mate or coworker. With a proven track record in leading-edge countries such as Venezuela and Belarus, you can be confident that when those documents get leaked to the public, you will have absolutely no idea how it happened. Whether it be cooked books, damning evidence on political rivals, or even the occasional laptop, we have you covered. Enter promo code Indie Rebellion for your 1 month free trial and begin forgetting the things you're supposed to not remember today.
Perfect. That's what I need, dude.
Perfect. Me too, man. I've got one Nazi maid.
She's very nazy.
Very nazy. Oh shit!
All right. Speaking of nazy, Gen Z, Gen Nazy. Oh, did you just delete that?
Control Z.
That's
Control
so
Z.
old.
Control Z.
It's so
Control
old.
Z.
You're like, that's like a month old. It is like a month and a half old. Like legit.
Control Z.
All right. Okay. Fine.
It's real old. It's real old.
You're old.
True.
And you have to remind me about it. So
Look at me. I'm gonna flip my collar.
Cool.
I ain't old. What's up?
That's cool.
Brush
Why
my
you dye your
shoulder
beard, motherfucker? How's that shit? We had a conversation about that.
All right, Gen Z, go ahead and take us through gaming news.
Gaming news. NVIDIA's GeForce 4090 Ti is rumored to have 18,176 cores at 24 gigabytes per 24 gigabyte second memory. I don't know what the fuck that even means. By the way.
So what that is?
Powerhouse. Is what it means.
That thing is gonna be ridiculous, bro.
Why would we need that? Cyberpunk isn't even half a game yet.
I know, right? It's like,
what? What? Have you played Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
Have you played it recently over the past year?
Fuck no. I haven't played it since it came out.
It is not that comment is invalidated.
It is not what was advertised.
Then play it again.
Still not what it was advertised to be.
If you haven't played it, you have no room to comment because you don't know shit about it. You didn't know shit. I played it after everything was fixed. No, you didn't offend me. It's just that I played it after everything was fixed and everything. So I know that those comments are validated.
You can't fix it though if you advertised a completely different game.
Who gives a fuck? So did Hello Games and No Man's Sky, and look at that. They're the fucking top three.
Yeah, that's why
top three space games that are in existence. It didn't die off. It's in the top 3 space exploration games on the market right now.
It's getting beat by Kerbal Space Program.
Not yet.
What?
Yeah, it is.
Not yet. No, it will when it drops.
Fuck you. Maybe you should stick to the gaming lanes that you know about, huh? Come on, little man. Sit back, little boy. Move on to the next one.
I only know stuff about fork knife and
about fucking deep fried chicken and shit. Whatever the fuck it is. Fucking Kentucky Fried Chicken. Whatever.
I gotta go dye my beard.
It is -7 degrees right now.
I know, it's crazy. I know that 18,176 cores is a lot of cores. That's what I know.
It's 18,000 of them.
And 24 gigabytes per second memory is ridiculous. That is a ridiculous amount of read write. That's just crazy. So yeah, it's the 49. So do you remember the 3080s that came out?
Yeah.
And the 3090s that came out? So when those came out, they were getting produced in California and then shipped out to the east and the south. There was a group of hijackers that actually hijacked one of the trucks coming away from the factory, and they got away with over 1,000 video cards at over $1,000 a pop. That's $1 million on a truck, at least $1 million on a truck. And I can guarantee you, the only thing that they ever used those for was mining,
mining Dogecoin.
Yep, that's the only thing that they were doing with those things. Anyway, go ahead. And I'll tell you why this next one is gaming news after you read it.
All right. Former Facebook employee says that the popular app can purposely drain your phone's battery. What app?
Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about Facebook. He's a former Facebook employee.
Yeah, the former Facebook employee says that the popular app, Facebook, can purposely drain your phone's battery.
I believe it.
Yeah. That and almost every single other app on there. You know what I mean? Dude, your battery... Yeah. But, so the reason I even threw that into gaming news is because you can play games on Facebook.
Oh, makes sense. Yeah, Farmville, bro.
Yeah, Farmville, the Zynga games, Clash of Clans, all that nonsense, if you want to run your phone battery down. But apparently this is not talking about running it down like today. This is draining your life's battery like over the long term. It can actually damage your battery.
That makes sense. They're in cahoots with Apple.
You're in cahoots with Apple.
Dude, I swear every month my battery's lifespan gets shorter and shorter.
Yeah, I haven't had a problem with my battery since I got rid of Facebook. Coincidence?
Coincidence? I think not.
That's what I was waiting for.
All right. Let's see. A PS5 scalper tried and failed to return a batch of PS5s to a Walmart where he was denied by store management.
Perfect. That's good news.
Poor guy, man. Come on. Scalpers deserve love too.
I remember, Ben, you remember we were thinking about getting PS5s when they came out? Well, maybe you weren't, because you already had a PC when PS5s were coming out, right? I was sitting there going, man, I really want a PS5. And you can't find them because scalpers, you know? And
just better.
Which is like not the case anymore, right?
Right. And so now the market's falling out for these PS5s, and he tries to go get his money back. Nope. Can't get your money back, you lazy ass scalper.
Screw, dude.
Fuck you and your 40 PS5s.
Serves you right, motherfucker. Dude, I know, right? Dude's rocking like 45 PS5s now. Nobody wants to buy him. He's gonna have to sell them for under market price. Yeah. Not be able to turn a profit. Good. You know what? I hope you fucking slip and break a rib on one of those PS5s.
Yeah. I hope he chokes on one of them.
Honestly, I don't see the issue. Why doesn't he just make a YouTube video where he smashes them all? He'll get famous instantly.
That's true. Actually, see? That's why we need you as our marketing consultant. See, that's a smart idea. If you got any PS5s I could borrow?
No. I have an old Xbox 360.
Can I borrow it?
Can I borrow it? I'll give it back, I swear.
Right after I'm done shooting this video.
It's rumored that PlayStation Classic games, such as the Metal Gear franchise, are to be ported to PC and released on Steam in a mass IP sell-off deal.
Nice.
Yeah. Never
very
played
nice.
Metal Gear. I've seen clips of it, though. It looks like a very sad game.
What? It's that's kind of what started my cinematic gaming experience, I think, when I was a kid. That was probably the first game that kind of had a cinematic story behind it that like kind of sucked you in, and I actually me and two of my friends spent a week playing it, and it would be only we'd kind of take turns here and there, but mainly it would just be the three of us in the living room, just like this, like we're fucking watching a movie play out.
Yeah.
It was fond memories of it, especially the first and the second, even 3. Snake Eater was the shit.
Yeah, I had that one. Metal Gear Solid 2, I had a buddy of mine who had that, and Dude, so I was in the Army at the time, and he'd play it in the barracks, and people would come to his room to watch him play a first-person game.
Dude, I believe it.
It's ridiculous.
I believe it.
But the crazy part is, like, if you take all the cutscenes out of those, like, I'm gonna say the average Metal Gear Solid game,
like 4 hours of gameplay.
It's at least, I was gonna say about 6 hours at least.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Just
the cutscenes. It's like watching a 6-hour movie.
A lot of cutscenes. I think which one do you think had the longest? Do you think Phantom Pain, the 5th one, the last one that they made? Do you think that one had because that one was pretty fucking littered with cutscenes.
It was, yeah. They were good cutscenes, but
they were good.
The fact that they never finished the game kind of spoiled it for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you?
You guys ever play Titanfall 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Only like 35 minutes of it. But
dude, you have to play the whole thing.
I do have to.
It's so good. It's very emotional.
When I got the urge to play was right after the release of Apex.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got super into that for months and months, dude. I went hard on that, and then I was like, oh, fucking, maybe I should get into Titanfall, because I know nothing about Titanfall, and I'm fucking so into this Battle Royale game that supposedly takes place in the same universe, so
dude,
why not?
I just saw a clip. This is going to be controversial,
Uh-oh.
but I just saw a clip that like really hit home with my Gen Z side, because I have a very old soul, right? But I'm still in the middle of this Gen Z bullshit. But it was a clip of it was like video games then versus video games now, and it was like a societal comparison, because it played a Titanfall 2 clip, and it was like a really strong emotional clip where like the pilot ejects and is like falling to his death, and the suit is supposed to leave, but the suit like drops down and grabs him to save him.
Yeah.
And the pilot's like, "No, BT, get out of here!" And it's like really emotional, right? Mm-hmm. And then it switches to an Apex clip of the two new characters who are lesbians, and they're like, "Please, I'll be with you forever." And it's like super like dramatic, but there's literally nothing going on.
Nothing.
Oh my god, so dumb, so dumb. I hate this generation, man.
I thought you were going to compare Titanfall to like, I don't know, like a game from my generation.
And what, like a fucking Roadrunner?
There are games to compare. I mean, if you're talking from a theatrical storytelling standpoint, then there's games that you could compare it to, for sure.
Last of Us.
But that's a thing. That's a genre. That is video game writing that is starting to disappear nowadays. You know, because now all developers are focusing more on long form seasonal content. Yeah. Rather than producing just a banger of a single player game with a fucking amazing story,
a playable movie. Yeah,
exactly.
The thing that I love about being in a capitalist system such as the United States, though, is that things that don't make money don't last very long. Yeah. And as much as the microtransactions and the FIFA addicts and the, you know, all these people who spend the money on skins and shit, as lucrative as that is now, it's not going to last forever. And sooner or later, there's going to be that game that comes out that's story driven, that plays like a movie, that takes you through it, that sends you through some emotional spirals, and it's going to sell like hotcakes because there's nothing else in the market like that. It's the way the video game industry's always been, where the pendulum swings all the way one way, and then the pendulum swings back all the way the other. You know, all of a sudden, sci-fi games will be in, you know, for 5 years, and then it'll be all sports games for the next 5 years, and da. And so all you have to do is wait long enough until something scratches your itch, and it'll eventually come back around. That's my opinion.
I wonder when battle royales will come back, because they're kind of phased out right now.
Thank God. We've been waiting for those things to be phased out forever. I hate battle royales.
That's always been my genre.
Ugh. Now, if that's your genre, hey, have fun with that.
I just like having the ability to prove that I'm the best out of 100 people.
I don't really care. You ever played
what's next?
Terraria?
Yeah. There's rumors that say crossplay compatibility may be coming to Terraria, by the way. Terraria. Okay.
So I don't know if our viewers even know what Terraria is.
Of course they do.
You would think, right? If you play video games, you know what Terraria is.
I've played it for like an hour.
It's like 2D Minecraft.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But crossplay could be coming, maybe. What those things are, what the extent of the crossplay is, nobody really knows, but yeah. And so something that we covered a couple weeks ago. Remember when we were talking about Wizards of the Coast?
Yeah.
And they were screwing over everybody in the D&D community with their closed licensing.
All their favorite nerds, they were just fucking them in the ass, didn't care.
Yep. So Wizards of the Coast pledges to keep open game licensing after in place after massive backlash. So they're going to keep open game licensing in place because it was so unpopular to get rid of it. So that's cool.
Yeah, nobody wanted that.
That's a win for the gaming community, though, I think. My opinion.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a little bit of gaming news. This week in gaming news wasn't very... It wasn't
eventful.
very juicy. It wasn't very juicy.
Yeah.
Let me see. So, top search term random facts from Google Trends. 2 emperor monkeys. You know what those are?
Yes.
They're like emperor penguins except with long tails, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And they eat bananas.
They eat bananas. They have been believed to have been taken from the Dallas, Texas Zoo. So if you see any monkeys out there, a couple of emperor monkeys just chilling, trying to get into like a retractable urinal, call the Dallas Zoo. They want their monkeys back.
Dude, if I were to kidnap any animal from a zoo, it's going to be a monkey.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Because
Wow.
I could teach it to steal people's wallets.
That's true.
That is true. And you could probably carry a small monkey in your purse.
Yeah.
Or backpack.
Like a little capuchin.
Yep. Oh,
keep it in my pant leg.
One time, okay, Easter rolled around, right? And the fam wanted to go to an Easter egg hunt. The kids, the wife, and everything. So went to church, and they were having an Easter egg hunt. Some lady had went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, where Dolly World is, and came back, and then came to church with a live monkey.
Hell yeah.
And everybody was like, oh, hey, I didn't know you were pregnant. And then come over to look at it, like, geez.
Yeah, the fucking monkey.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I was like, why would anybody do that? But I mean, whatever. It made a good story, But this lady, she's just walking around church with a monkey, like swaddling a monkey, like with a bottle in its thing. And it was weird. Like, I don't even know how legal that is.
You have to have a license.
Do you have to have a license?
Yeah.
What goes into getting a license? Because I'd like to look into this.
A monkey
It's
license?
just paperwork and money.
You just what?
It's paperwork and money.
That's really it.
Yeah, there's
like 3 different classes of exotic animal license.
What? How do you know that?
Because I was gonna get an exotic animal.
You got to take a test or anything? Just money? Oh, so okay.
It's mostly paper. It's mostly paperwork.
Exotic animal game.
Like if you want to get some of those exotic ass fish and put them in a fish tank, you just have to do a couple sheets of paperwork and pay money. But I'm pretty sure for monkeys, you got to do like tests and stuff like that.
Like they test you or they test the monkeys?
Yeah, you have to take a test. You have to do like an exotic creature test or some shit. I don't know. I haven't looked too far into it, but I know that I'm pretty sure it's 3 different levels.
What do you think the test questions would be? If you had to come up with a monkey test and you're going to, hey, Boone, so you just applied for a monkey license.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to ask you some questions.
All right, shoot.
Okay.
In the event that you wake up in immense pain and you see a monkey on top of you trying to pull your nose off, what's the first thing you do?
A monkey on top of me trying to pull my nose off?
Yep.
I'll kill that fucking thing.
No.
Yeah, you can't have a monkey license.
Wrong.
No.
We learned that was the wrong thing to do with Harambe, okay?
Oh yeah,
that
but would it have been the wrong thing to do with that chimpanzee that beat that lady's face to the point where she was unrecognizable?
Yeah, she ripped her arm. He ripped her arm off too, huh?
I don't know if he did that. Did
he? Pulled her arm off too.
I know he fucking destroyed her face to the point where like she doesn't even will never look the same ever again.
Yeah.
All right.
But chimpanzees are a whole nother beast. So like those are things that's
chimps aren't even monkeys.
Have a chimp as a pet, dude.
No.
It's basically a human with a fucking temper.
It's a compact
and
gorilla,
way too much muscle.
Chimps are just compact gorillas.
Yeah.
They're the submachine gun version of gorillas.
They're so bad. Have you seen documentaries of them, like, and how they treat each other?
Oh,
like outsiders? Just outside chimpanzees or chimpanzees that just aren't popular with the crew anymore, and then they'll jump the fucking thing. Like 5 chimpanzees on one, they're all beating the shit like it's a street fight, dude. It's ridiculous. They're so vicious.
Let's see.
That is pretty ridiculous. But
there's the Billy ape. Have you guys ever heard of the Billy apes?
No.
What?
Okay, so in Africa, in northern Africa, in the jungles, there's clans of apes and chimps, and they all have their own territory and they do their own thing, and it's like mapped out too. They map their territories out, and if you cross the line, you're fair game. You will be murdered and eaten by the other groups. But there was this group that I'm pretty sure they're extinct now. I don't remember what happened to them in the end. But there was this group that a bunch of scientists were doing like a documentary on that they couldn't finish because they called them the Billy apes, and they were absolutely insane. They had a very specific fur pattern where like they grew white fur on their faces that was almost like the shape of their skull, basically. So it looked like they had like the ghost mask on almost.
I think I've seen pictures.
Yeah. And they were just fucking crazy. They didn't give a fuck about anybody else's territory. They went wherever they wanted, and if they saw another monkey, they'd just murder it on the spot.
This fucking crazy indigenous tribe over
yeah, absolutely insane. They murdered and killed and ate other monkeys on a daily basis. They just roamed around killing everything they saw.
That's insane.
Absolutely crazy.
No joke.
Hold on, let me see if I can get a picture of them, because their little skull pattern is so cool.
Yeah, monkeys are nuts, bro. And there's 2 missing from the Dallas Zoo. So if you wake up and you got a monkey pulling their nose.
Yeah. There was a tribe in Africa as well, a tribe of people in Africa who put out like a bounty on these apes, and people would go out and hunt them, and they'd get a shit ton of money for it. And there's
if they survived.
There's like pictures of these local African warriors holding up an ape, and then that was the last the documentary people ever heard of that group of natives.
What?
Jeez.
Really?
Yeah, fucking crazy.
Like the monkeys came back and killed all the natives, or what?
That's what I'm assuming, but it just says that the documentary people never heard of them again. So maybe they just went back to wherever they came from, but it's a lot cooler to think that the apes tracked them down and killed them.
That'd be pretty cool. Man.
Yeah, crazy. Monkeys are crazy, dude.
Yeah, monkeys are nuts.
What do you guys think of orangutans?
Speaking of orangutans, Shania Twain.
Whoa! That was one of my middle school crushes.
That was a good segue. I don't know what's wrong with that segue.
That's fucked up, man.
Shania Twain was airlifted to a hospital due to COVID, and she also looks really old. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I don't mean to be mean to Shania Twain. Yeah. No, look, I saw a picture of her. They said that she's like 60? Or not even 60, I don't think. I think she's like in her early 50s. Dude, she looks 70 years old, bro. Like, life has not been good to Shania.
Damn, man.
Like, she aged
quick. Dude.
Like,
she's 57 right now.
Yeah, I was surprised. She looks 70 at least. At least 70. It's nuts. It's nuts, dude. Yeah. I was like, man, I don't know what you've been doing.
She shrunk.
I don't think she was all that big to begin with.
There's osteoporosis.
No, but she's like all shriveled up now.
Yeah, dude, she looks like a country girl version of a raisin.
Huh. All right. Do we have a picture of her?
I don't have a picture. I wish I did. I mean, the people at home, I guess, can
video, but
do their thing. But geez, man, it's not good, man. Like back in the day, Shania Twain was she was getting it.
Let me see her. I don't even know. I mean, she was getting it. She was getting. You don't know Shania Twain? I don't know her. Come on now. She sings. Man, I feel like a woman. Right? You know that shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Shania Twain on posing nude.
Oh, it's so small, but I sent a picture.
Gross.
Really small.
Who and what? And her upcoming. But hey, she don't. Oh, okay. That picture. That's a little.
Yeah, it's not good, dude. It's not good.
Well, she's 57, dude.
No, I get it. But there's some other 57-year-old girls that you look at them and you're like, oh, I didn't know she was 57. You know,
she's going nude too.
I don't want to see that. If her face is showing me what the rest of her body looks like, because you can keep it covered.
She got completely comfy in her bearskin. I wasn't thinking about what anybody thought. I didn't think about who was in the room. This is about me. This is my moment to really embrace myself in a vulnerable moment. It had to be vulnerable where I felt that I was facing a fear of being judged or being maybe even laughed at, being a bit embarrassed.
I mean, I wouldn't laugh at her. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be mean, but there's dudes in India that are naked with the same attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see them quite frequently whenever I go on Omegle.
That's why, exactly. Could you imagine?
Listen,
you find Shania Twain on Omegle.
And she's
speaking naked. Of, we're gonna have to do an Omegle run like off stream and then post highlights. Post a highlight reel.
As soon as I get some time, man. As soon as I get some time.
We could do that.
Episodes.
We could do that thing where we have one person go on Omegle and then the other two tell you what to say and you have to do it. Or it's like an Impractical Joker situation.
If you don't, you lose. Impractical Jokers on Omegle? Yeah, we could do that. I'd do it.
Ideas over the fucking stream.
Yeah, don't be pulling those ideas out of the street. I'm gonna cut this out later.
There's like 180 people watching right now.
I think
tone it down.
You're 179 off.
Oh.
U.S. skier Kyle Smaine killed in an avalanche in Nagano, Japan. And me and Boone were talking about this earlier. When I looked the story up where an avalanche killed a bunch of people in Japan, I was like, I didn't know Japanese people skied.
I didn't know there was that much snow in Japan.
Well, remember the Nagano Olympics? The Winter Olympics in Nagano?
I have never seen any of the Olympics.
All right. Have you ever seen the movie Akira?
No.
You're an anime fan? You've never seen the movie Akira?
I prefer Toyota.
Dude,
Akira's the
Acura?
Android chick, right?
No. Dude, Akira is the quintessential anime movie. It predicted the Japanese Olympics and the bombing of the Olympics.
Yes.
In the
I do
80s.
Know about that.
Only
because
did it predict it, or was it the originator of the idea?
No, it predicted it.
It predicted it. It's like eerie. It's eerie.
It's crazy. Yeah. You got to see it. You got to see it. It's really good.
On video about it, and I was like, "Whoa, dude!" And I'm not an anime fan in the least.
It's an anime.
It was an anime movie back in the day. Yeah, it's a back in 70s. In the 70s?
No, it's 80s. late 80s. I think it came out in 88.
Back in the 50s, right?
I don't know why I don't know why I didn't see it back then.
Because you weren't alive, Joker.
Because I don't you weren't even formed in the nutsack at all. Like, you weren't even there yet.
Yeah, I don't think my dad was even alive.
But I've never been.
What? How old is your dad? Your dad was alive.
41, I think.
He was alive. I was. What are you saying about me, man? 41. I was born in 88. Jesus.
I was born in 78, you young bastards.
You guys are fucking old.
All right, so here's the scenario, okay? Let me paint this picture. And this is why I thought this story just struck me weird, right? Because, all right, you're here in the United States, you go up to Alpine, and you're going to take a ski trip for the weekend, and you get up to the lodge to go get your lift tickets and your $10 hamburger, or maybe a $20 hot dog or whatever, and you're going to do all that stuff, and you get up to the lodge, and everybody on the ski slope, everybody on the lodge, everybody in the parking lot, all Asian.
Would you think you're in the wrong place? Also, what are you trying to say? This coming across as Asian hate is what this.
Yeah, how am I supposed to react to this?
It's probably not something that you would see, right? It'd be out of the ordinary. Just saying, it'd be out of the ordinary.
It's not saying that
as normal.
Says nothing about them other than the fact that you just don't really see a ton.
I'm not saying anything about Asians. I'm just saying you don't.
They just don't like the snow.
It would be a weird situation. But contrasting that, if you go up to a ski slope and it's nothing, same situation, nothing but white people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You're like, oh, all right, normal, right?
Normal.
Just saying. So when I read that story, it was kind of weird. I was just imagining myself in Japan going to a ski resort, and that's like the only place it would kind of be normal. But the story is that some Kyle Smain died.
The one white
guy.
guy.
Yeah, we forgot all about Kyle Smain, dude.
Yeah, the one white guy died.
It's just glossed over because of the fact that it's hard to think about Asian skiers.
Dude, no, that would be like here, the one Asian dude on the ski slope dying in an avalanche. What are the odds of that?
I've got a great clip for you guys.
I know I did not dish Shania Twain, Michelle, in the comments.
She did.
I did not. I did not dish Shania. I think Shania Twain's a beautiful person. I think she.
No, you said she's an ugly old hag, dude. I heard it.
I think she can be as naked as she wants, as often as she wants. She's fine. She can do what she wants. She's a beautiful person. I'm just saying, she looks 70. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
You guys got to watch this clip. This is fucking incredible. This little 8-year-old girl is doing. Actually, yeah, 8-year-old girl is doing. Is she 8? Fuck, I don't know. I just said 8 because I thought she was 8. She's either 6 or 8, but she's doing something I will never be able to do. But it's fucking hilarious to watch her fail. Watch this shit. This is amazing.
You gotta like preload me with that stuff, dude. I'm not that technically savvy yet. You're the guy. That's
oh no, you just go react to it. They don't need to see it.
I'm good. Okay.
Oh come on, it's so good though.
Do you know who Lil Uzi Vert is?
How are you going to tell the host of the podcast to react to a video off stream and not worry about anyone else that's watching?
Fuck them.
Jamie doesn't do that to Rogan,
right?
Yeah, but I don't control the podcast. Jamie does.
Do you know Lil Uzi Vert?
Yeah, I guess I know the name.
Okay, so Lil Uzi Vert, he walked out with the Philadelphia Eagles, where the Eagles ended up beating the 49ers 31-7. So he's a good luck charm from now on.
Yeah. And I guess the 49ers fans were complaining about one kind of blown call that led to a touchdown, and then everybody's answer was essentially like, okay, well then take that touchdown away. There you go. You can have it back. They still kicked their asses.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like, dude, it's 31-7. One touchdown is not gonna make a difference.
Yeah.
You got your
Yes,
butts whooped.
there was one moment in the game that made me realize they didn't stand a chance. The quarterback literally dropped the ball before throwing it. He didn't he just dropped the ball on accident.
What?
Yeah.
That was the same type of situation when it came to go on.
I've always believed NFL is rigged. Absolutely rigged. And watching the quarterback, he didn't even screw up his throw or something. He just he dropped the ball.
That's crazy.
He just dropped the ball.
Comments on this podcast are not reflected to all participants.
I think it's rigged. I don't know how you manage what happened.
Maybe he had a mini stroke, dude. You don't know. You know what that man's medical record looks like?
Yeah. He had a stroke and the eye doctor told him when he looked into his eyes. Yeah.
He could have. You know. Yeah, that's a reference to somebody.
Yeah. The eye doctor told me I had a stroke, man.
I don't know how you feel about Chicago.
It's the safest place in the country, I heard.
Yeah. It's about as safe as Shania Twain's webcam. Cook County State's attorney decided not to prosecute R. Kelly on 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse involving 4 alleged victims, 3 of whom were under the age of consent.
It would probably cost the county too much. It just wouldn't be worth it.
Is there? I mean, there's already a pretty damning amount against him already, right? Wouldn't it have made a difference?
Yeah, it just wouldn't be worth it.
Yeah, man, but
what's the reasoning? What's the reasoning at the same time?
That's the reasoning. Well, he's convicted on other charges in New York.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, here's the thing, dude. At what point do you go? I don't care. You know what? Wrong's wrong, and you're getting prosecuted. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's gross. To me, it's gross. The whole thing is gross. R. Kelly's gross. They're gross. The people not prosecuting R. Kelly are gross. Just because they're. I mean, I get it. They don't want to waste taxpayer money on this guy who's probably going to go away for the rest of his life anyway. But it's gross. The fact that we don't prosecute shit like that just because of money is gross. All right. Well, you know what's even probably less gross than R. Kelly?
What's that?
Dentures.
Yeah, I mean, if you keep them clean.
Yeah. Dentures.
Keep them in your own mouth, of course.
Well, look, dentures are, from what I understand, dentures are a pain in the ass. Right? But thankfully, there's a company out here who is willing to help your situation. They're called the ToothFerry. And when I say ToothFerry, I mean the ferry. Like the ferry that ferries things back and forth. That type of a ToothFerry.
Ferry.
Right. So, say goodbye to dental care headaches with ToothFerry. Our Club of the Month delivers top quality denture care products right to your door. Enjoy a hassle-free and convenient dental care experience with our monthly selection of essential items, tailored to meet your unique needs. Join now and let us take care of your denture health so you can focus on living life to the fullest. Subscribe today and have a smile brighter tomorrow with ToothFerry. Use the Indie Rebellion code for a discount. And that's their actual logo. So it's, you call them, and there's going to be a guy in a red scooter in a snowsuit delivering your denture products. So that's nice.
You think he's Asian?
You know, I don't think I'd speculate on that. I don't think it's not like he's on a ski slope.
Thinking about the same comment at the same time.
It's not. I was gonna say, he's not on a ski slope. Makes me feel less worse. You know, if he was on a ski slope, he might be Asian. I'd consider it. AI news. So this is a section of the podcast where we talk about. Michelle says, "Good Lord." This is the section of the podcast where we talk about artificial intelligence news. And you know what? So there's always stuff popping off in the artificial intelligence news. But this week seems to be a little less than last week. Last week, everything new was popping off, this, that, and the other. And it seems like kind of a lot of repeat stories from last week. But, however, after much digging, after much squeezing of the coal into diamonds, I have a few stories for you guys. 4chan, we all know what 4chan is, right? It's half of 8chan. 4chan members appear to have used 11 Labs product. 11 Labs would be the developer of the product to generate voices that sound like Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro, and Emma Watson to spew racist and other sorts of material. 11 Labs said is exploring some safeguards for that, but they haven't come up with any yet. So there's somebody on 4chan cloning Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro, and Emma Watson saying racist things.
Yeah, this is my biggest issue with AI in general. Like, the biggest issue that I have is that it's getting so good, and forget about the art aspect, forget about the music aspect, forget about all of that. Just think about when it comes to all these AI voice generators becoming so good and so advanced that they're able to make undeniable comments using whoever's voice it is and have it be completely believable, right?
Yep.
Where you could cause massive conflicts.
Sure.
That could just like start from one single spark almost instantaneously.
Yep.
Just by putting out a remark that was supposedly said by somebody when it really wasn't.
Right.
And the thing about it is that even if that comes out after the fact that this was an AI generated voice and this person didn't actually say that thing, with how information spreads nowadays,
everyone knows about it.
The damage will be done. The damage will be done beforehand, you know? So that's the thing that's scary about it, is that there's a lot of things that are inevitably going to become harder and harder to believe because we're not going to know what to fucking trust.
Right.
You know, did this person really say this? I know I heard him say it, but did he really say it? You know, that is a scary scenario right there.
And so, I mean, the only thing that's going to be admissible in court is going to be sources that had been had like a positive chain of monitoring custody before, during, and after collection of evidence, right? They have to know exactly what that source is, where that source has been, who's had access to that source before it even recorded any video or audio, you know?
Yeah.
Or else it's not going to be admissible in court. Hopefully. But you know how that goes. It's like the government's always 30 years behind technology for whatever reason.
It seems like it on the outside, doesn't it?
When they want to be. You know. When they don't want to be, then they're building like stealth aircraft and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, corporations are looking at choosing candidates for chief AI officer, signaling a normalization of AI tools in the corporate workspace. So, generally, your officers are about 3 people. You got a finance officer, you have an operations officer, and then you have the chief executive officer. And for, I don't know, 100 years, it's been those. And then they kind of added in a marketing officer in some corporations. Well, now a lot of corporations are looking at adding an AI officer, which tells you how important and how changing AI is to the business landscape. That they are actually changing the corporate structure that's been pretty much the same for the last 100 years to accommodate for it.
it's so crazy to see life playing out the way we always imagined life playing out.
That's weird, right?
You know what I mean? Where it's like any theory that we had growing up in sci-fi movies or just in general of like, you know, the evolution of man and where the world's going to go with technology and everything. It's kind of like, you know, word for word kind of playing out the way that we always imagined.
I have yet to see flying cars.
Yeah,
I know. And that's we always go back to that. But the only reason why that's not so much of a thing, I feel like is not so much from a technical standpoint. It's more of a like, that's fucking unsafe.
So okay. Captain Kirk
it's not going to work
in Star Trek in the year, like, I don't know, what was it? 2300 or some nonsense. He had a flip phone that could like scan stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I have a phone that does more than Captain Kirk ever thought of doing with his little flip phone in the year 2300.
Yep.
Like literally I can do the same exact stuff that Captain Kirk could with his flip phone with my cell phone. And I don't even have to flip it open.
Well, dude, it's all crazy. After that massive boom in technology, after that ship crashed in Roswell, New Mexico.
Yeah.
So many years ago, okay? It's fucking aliens. Right, Mania?
Yeah.
See?
They built the pyramids, man.
Well, I don't know.
What if the pyramids built themselves? That'd be crazy.
I'd believe that more than
a
bunch of prehistoric people doing it.
Oh, why?
I just don't believe it.
I mean, I guess
that's some heavy ass sandstone, bro.
It is. It's whatever way you think about it. It's kind of a mind-boggling.
It's
structure.
It's
you know,
crazy.
When it comes to it, wouldn't be in today's standards, obviously, but in those days' standards, it's like.
Yeah.
Wow. And if they did all do it without the assistance of anything else,
here's the thing: if the historical proof said that these pyramids were built, but 3.5 million slaves died in the process, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But it was like, this was built by like a couple hundred slaves. No, it wasn't. No, it fucking wasn't.
So,
there's no way. There's no fucking way.
Back then they used Fiverr, and they just outsourced it. They were like, "Hey."
Okay.
They did. Right. Yeah. So I assume you know what Fiverr is then.
Yeah.
All right. So Fiverr searches spike for freelance AI programmers. There's so much demand for AI programmers right now that people are going to Fiverr to check for freelance AI programmers.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So obviously the most of the theories are that they were carved from quarries and then dragged and lifted into position. But you obviously, you look at them and it's like, what the fuck were you using to drag them bitches? How'd you drag those things, dude?
You couldn't just roll them?
No, they weren't round. See,
roll them? Yeah. The pyramids are made of squares.
They had corners on them.
Logs are round.
Yeah. Well, think about that. Well, so that is a theory of getting them there, which I'm sure it was a method used. If that was a method in transportation, it probably was. You're like, yes, they probably had multiple logs, and then they would just they would go, ooh, let's not smack the mic. Place, one in front of the other continuously over and over again as they're rolling them across. They probably had a nice little assembly line structure going, but then building up all that way. I just don't know. I don't know how that would be possible to move it at such an angle up there. How big are those stones?
Ramps.
How big are those stones?
Pulleys. Ramps.
I'm Jamie right now.
I don't see. I don't look. I hate to be the Neil deGrasse Tyson of this group, but I just don't see the controversy about the pyramids.
Okay, so so listen to this, okay, because it makes it more logical. And I've seen videos of
10 by 25 meters.
A couple people climbing the pyramids too, and looking up top. They frown upon that, by the way. You're not allowed to climb those.
Correct.
You're not allowed to.
Yeah.
A lot of people try to, though.
Well, you get abducted.
But the top consists of smaller blocks.
Yeah, the bottom ones are 1 to 2.5 meters, or 1 by 2.5 meters, and the higher ones are 1 by 1 by 0.5 meters.
But still, each layer is approximately 1.3 tons.
Yeah, that's each layer, though. That's each upper layer.
Yeah, it's a car.
But the bottom layers are 6.5 to 10 tons.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why they're at the bottom, bro. They're heavy.
No, that's how you make a fucking pyramid, bro.
Jesus.
At any rate.
That's crazy.
Steam sales. Talking about pyramid schemes. Steam.
Dude, so big. So big. All right.
So, again, that Steam sale we were talking about last week, I forgot what the Steam sale was.
The base building.
Oh, yeah, the base building Steam sale.
Yeah.
That is over. And we're kind of in between big Steam sales, so there's not a huge amount on sale right now. There is some games on here.
Couple big ones though.
That are pretty big. However, their shelf life is pretty far down the road. So you got Battlefield 1 Revolutions 80% off. It was $39.99. Now is down to $7.99. So down from $40 to $8. Battlefield 5 90% off. That is selling
probably.
It was a $50 title, and it is selling for $5, $4.99.
I was gonna say probably the best, in my opinion, in terms of Battlefield games.
No, Bad Company was where it's at, bro.
Well, okay, it's kind of those two though. Yeah. It's those two for sure.
I'm pretty sure that they've got a discount on all the Battlefield titles that are on Steam, but those are the ones with the biggest discount. Days Gone. I don't know if you guys know about that game. It's it's like a zombie survival. That's the biker game, right?
Yeah, Sons of Anarchy during the zombies.
Yes,
essentially.
Yep. Yeah, it's a documentary. Days Gone 67% off. It's a $49.99 title, a $50 title, selling for $16.49. So 67% off. That's not bad. That's 2/3 off. So you're getting it for a third of the price. Deep Rock Galactic, fun game. Super.
We
fun
know
game.
all about that.
Yep. We got into that pretty heavy for a little while, and I'd be happy to go back to it.
Hell yeah.
Whenever I get some time, because man, that game is super fun, and it's super fun.
It's a blast, dude. It really is fun. It's funny. It's fun. It's action packed.
Yep. There's never a dull moment.
Never. Never.
And when you get good at the game, you're like, man, I feel pretty freaking competent right now. All up until you die. So Deep Rock Galactic 67% off. It's a $30 title, selling for $9.89. So under $10. Here you go, Mania. Titanfall 2.
Hell yeah.
90% off. $29.99 game, $30 game, going for $3, $2.99.
I might have to snag that. I've only got it on Xbox.
Yeah, $3, man. You can have it on Steam. Star Wars Battlefront 2, 88% off. It's a $40 title, going for $4.79. And that's probably the cheapest Star Wars title you're ever going to get your hands on.
Yeah.
Now, here's an indie title that we played around with for a little while called Barotrauma. And
I wouldn't mind getting back into that at some point as well.
That'd
be a funny stream.
It was interesting. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. I would love to make some content in Barotrauma because that is the most insane Yes, Shania is 57 years old, Michelle. It's a funny game because there's nothing quite like it, you know?
It's really hard to describe. I mean, you're essentially just a crew that's trying to operate a submarine in a bunch of fucking crazy costumes and just, I mean, it's basically a submarine survival game with kind of a funny take on it with ragdoll physics and some ocean exploration.
Yeah, it's
basically
super,
it's just,
but it's super strange. Like you meet some real weirdos in there.
Yeah.
Like World of Warcraftian weirdos. That level of weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like, wow.
It's definitely a niche game.
It's definitely a niche game, but man, is it super entertaining. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. 75% off. It's a $60 title for $14.99. And Metro Last Light. I'm sure you guys have heard about Metro Last Light. Now it's critically acclaimed. It's a $20 title, selling for $3.99. $4, and you can pick up Metro Last Light. All right. Boone?
Yes, sir.
You know, sometimes, especially on a podcast, I can do this by myself, you know, but sometimes you just need a little bit extra. You need what they call a hype man.
You need a little fat, dude?
A little fat.
Need some fat?
You know what I'm saying? You need somebody to, if you're going to make a point, you need somebody to, what he said.
To really just drive it home. Right. Drive it home and just kind of, it's nice to have a hype man.
And sometimes,
a backup.
It's really hard to find that guy.
Yeah.
Not every day are you going to find a dude who's in your corner agreeing with everything you say. Every joke is funny. You know what I mean? Making you the life of the party. Your boy isn't going to do that for you all the time. Number one, he's going to get jealous. Number two, nobody wants to do that all the time. Except for Fap. With Fap, have you ever been at a party or a gathering and you said, something that just needed a little extra attention? Look no further. Fap has you covered. Our professional talent scouts have scoured the country to find talented, hype men and women in your local area. You tell a bad joke, they're going to laugh at it. You know what I'm saying? We will book a local hype technician to escort you to your next event. So whether you are giving a toast as a best man at a wedding or giving a eulogy at your aunt's funeral, you will be the most impactful speaker at that event. Do you need a random amen or a surprisingly powerful laugh at one of your jokes that just might not be that funny? Well, it's funny now. Make sure it's all about you at somebody else's next event with Fap. Use the Indie Rebellion promo code in the description for a discount on your first encounter with your Fap professional. You think you'd be interested in something like that, Mania?
I am my own hype man, but sometimes I'm not enough. So
you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Like sometimes you're just not in the mood
to
be your own hype man.
Would there ever be any confusion about the company name and what it represents and what it's all about? Ever?
Nah.
I mean, you nailed it. So you described it perfectly. But if I heard Fap, you should call Fap. I'd be like, what do they do?
What do they do?
I mean, it's basically an escort service, except without the premium option.
What you'd think by the name that they would probably include that. Probably. if there's like something because you're basically getting a bro, right?
We can't advertise that, you know.
You're renting a bro,
right? I don't see what you're getting at here.
It could really be your bro, dude.
Yeah, like we're bros.
He could, but he could be like super bro. You know what I'm saying? Bro. Yeah. Like.
Oh, I don't get it.
I'm just saying, sometimes bros, like, you don't, like, who knows? It's named Fat.
Sometimes maybe they gotta kiss a bro goodnight, you know?
They provide extra friendly bros, maybe.
I don't write the ads. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I understand that, but they didn't give us a good
it's not my company.
Ad read here.
You know what I mean?
I just don't want. I don't know if we're advertising a gay escort service. I want to know that going into it.
What are you talking about, dude? You're a horrible hype man for Pap right now. I don't think that's what we're advertising.
I don't have a problem with advertising.
They should have hired their own man for their company, man.
Jeez.
They hired a bro to read the bro ad.
And hey, look, you know what? If that's what it is, that's who's paying the bills this week. So go get you some fat. You know what I'm saying?
God damn.
Go get that.
Whew.
You want some? There it is. All right. So, onward. Gary Busey. Who's a Gary Busey fan in here?
This guy.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see if the sound works this time.
Put the sound on there. Stream the thing. No, don't even do the transfer yet. Okay, stream it beforehand. I don't know why you always like start the video and it's like I'm gonna start streaming like 30 seconds after the video started, and they're gonna miss half of it.
Chill, bro. Chill. Oh, no, wrong one. Shh.
Damn, dude.
See, this is why I need a Jamie, bro.
I wish I could remotely control it from here. That would be cool,
dude. That's what I was looking into.
Wouldn't that be sick?
All right, here we go.
Can't really do that.
Damn, there's like nothing.
Now, hold on.
I mean, there's like a remote PC controller, but then we'd have access to his entire computer. And Barcel doesn't like the government, so we wouldn't.
As long as we.
He don't keep anything on his computer anyway.
No. All right, here we go. Can you guys see it now?
I can see it.
All right.
Clip of the week.
Clip of the week. Gary Busey clip of the week. Here we go.
I am just deeply, deeply sorry, guys. So many problems. I feel defeated. You know, I got nothing left. And I don't know where I'm going.
It's good for you to say that because you're finding your way.
Low self-esteem hoochie mamas, man. These low self-esteem hoochies.
Excuse me, what's a hoochie?
Prostitutes, Gary. They called me ugly.
So?
So, it hurt my feelings.
Don't take it personally. No, who cares, Richie?
I care, Matt. I mean, I care. It reminded me of a little bitchy Crystal Van Lyric. Chick who cheated on me and broke my heart.
Well, that's your hobby, cheating on people. Eat your dessert, sugar booger.
Dumb fuck.
You know why they called me ugly?
Because you're a dumb fuck.
No, because they're insecure.
Oh, they are?
Oh.
You.
Richie, who cares? They're prostitutes.
They don't like themselves, so they gotta spread their hate.
They're
everywhere,
prostitutes.
You know? They gotta knock you down just to make themselves feel better.
They're fucking prostitutes,
Richie. Not me. I'm moving forward.
You need to find a nice girl. One girl.
No. Hey! You know what I need?
Listen to me!
I need a bunch of prostitutes that'll respect me for who I am. Don't take my spoon away. I need your spoon.
Listen to me. You don't listen to me. You pay attention. You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna hurt yourself. You need one nice girl you can give your heart to. And she can give her heart to you, and that makes it even with love.
Richie, I'm with Gary. I think that girl's Jasmine.
All right.
That's the best part about it is that they just gave him the bullet points and then just let him go.
For sure. Oh yeah, for sure.
He slapped the shit out of him. I'm sure that wasn't like originally talked about before it happened.
Right.
But it was gold.
Yeah.
And Gary Busey produces gold over and over and over again.
Yes.
He's a talented man.
He is a talented dude. Man, I love Gary. Love Gary Busey. All right. Conspiracy theories. Let's talk about them. I think Gary Busey is a perfect palate cleanser straight into conspiracy theories, because I feel like Gary Busey is somebody I could talk to about conspiracy theories, and he'd have an opinion. It wouldn't be a saying opinion. It would be an opinion. There'd be no fact about it, but that man would believe every word that came out of his mouth, and you would be stupider and more entertained for having heard it. And I believe in that. So, in that spirit, let's talk about the space shuttle. So you guys know that the space shuttle had a deployment bay, right? It had a cargo bay so that they could deploy satellites. It had an arm from Canada.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And the Canadian arm would grab onto the satellite in the deployment bay.
I mean, I wasn't aware it was a Canadian arm, but I know that there was an appendage that came out of it.
From Canada.
Okay. All right. Canada's good peeps.
That was their only contribution to the entire space shuttle program.
So now, do they own the rights to that arm? Do they own the rights to that arm? Like, can they choose to take it over at any moment in time?
Well, it's not in operation anymore. It was on a space shuttle.
I'm pretty sure we sent it back.
We returned it?
I don't know. I made that part up. All right.
So what about the fact that it's a Canadian-built arm?
That doesn't matter. I was just, I said that to lend credibility to what I'm about to say. The fact that you guys know that I know that it was Canadian, and that lends me some credibility because I'm about to blow y'all's fucking minds.
Okay.
All right. So the cargo bay doors would open. They would make sure that the payload was in launchable condition. They would latch that arm onto the payload. They would take the payload out, and then they would just let it go. Right? And then they'd come back to Earth. Mission complete.
Right.
No. They would then rendezvous with the orbits of Russian military satellites, take the arm, grab it, put it into the payload, close the doors, and land with it.
It's a solid strategy.
Run that by me one more time.
It's the opposite of putting a satellite out. They would just grab their satellite.
Steal Russian equipment.
Right. Yeah, we were stealing Russian satellites with the space shuttle.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm done with that.
Really?
Yeah, I can see it.
I mean, it's a very realistic.
He's like, really? I came up with that shit all on my own.
No, that's been a thing. That's been a thing for a while. There was a satellite hijacker. I'm sure it's not all because, I mean, we have films of like things actually being done with it, the things that it was supposed to. But is it far-fetched that it wouldn't be able to be used as something that could just snatch something out of the orbit and fucking...
I mean, we only see what they want us to see, so yeah.
For sure, yep.
Yeah.
So there's that one. There's that one. Now, moving along with the space motif, Stanley Kubrick movies, especially 2001: A Space Odyssey, especially, huh?
Who's Stanley Kubrick?
Yeah, I don't know.
He was a director, famous director.
I see.
Very famous.
Did he make any good movies?
He was an intense director as well.
Did he make any good movies?
You ever seen Full Metal Jacket?
No.
Have you ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey?
No.
The Shining?
The Shining?
No.
Well,
no, I guess he didn't make any good movies.
I guess not.
But yeah, so
is he old? Are they old movies?
He's dead.
Yeah.
So they're old movies.
However, so in The Shining, he gave some hints in The Shining that hinted towards him faking some of the moon landing footage himself. So rumor.
I know.
Some of it. I'm not saying all of it.
Goddamn.
I'm not saying I believe it. Just saying that he made 2001: A Space Odyssey. It looks just like real space footage. They hire him and say, "Hey, look, if this whole space race thing doesn't go our way, we're going to need some footage, and we need you to shoot it." I think that's how they approached him. They weren't like, "Hey, we're going to use your fake moon landing footage," or anything like that. They're just like, "Hey, look, we need some filler, or we need some, for a space mission here or there, and we can't let the Russians get ahead of us. You'll be doing your country a great service by, having this stock footage on hand that we can use from time to time." I don't think that that's probably the extent of it, right? However, that being said, the gravity of the entire situation, first man on the moon in human history. I mean, that had to, if that's the case, that had to drive him crazy. And after the Shining, he never came back to the United States, ever.
Really?
He stayed in England his entire rest of his life.
Okay.
And he became a shut-in after that. He still created movies. He still made movies, but all the other movies were filmed in Britain.
Wow. All right. Now, the space race was a big fucking deal back then. Okay. You had Russia and the United States fighting who was going to get there first. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't think the moon landing was faked at all. I don't think anything about the moon was fake because we have tons and tons of footage from the moon landings that came after the fact and shit. And you know what I mean? So it's just not. I mean, I don't think it was faked. But to think about the possibility that they may have maybe tried to come up with a backup plan to try to make it seem like it did. I don't want to think that would be a possibility, but it's not impossible knowing humans and how they operate, and especially with such a big thing like that where two countries are trying to essentially assert their superiority and make it to the moon first. I mean, that was a pretty big deal. Whoever makes it there first is king, essentially, right?
Right.
So,
because if you can make it to the moon, I can definitely bomb you on Earth.
Yeah.
And I can build a base on the moon. If I can put a man on the moon, I can put a base on the moon.
Yeah.
And if I can put a base on the moon's mine.
I mean, we put a flag on it, so it is ours, but...
Yeah, that's true.
That's how it works.
That's how it works.
That's law. That's a universal law.
That's right.
Essentially.
There's an alien like, oh, snap, I gotta get out of here.
I know, dude. It's like he didn't put up... He's like, fuck, dude, did we put up a flag? Shit!
Tommy, you didn't
we gotta go!
Yeah, I
God
guess now he's an illegal alien, huh?
All right, so this is about the same timeline, so I don't expect Manny to know anything about this. The JFK assassination. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an airport, right?
Yes, they assassinated an airport.
Yeah. Financially, of course.
So, Boone, why don't you go ahead and explain? So Boone explained this one to me earlier, and and I thought it was kind of interesting.
I just explained a video I saw that I called, for the record, I called bullshit on it, but it's an interesting perspective to see it from this angle. Is there was a guy that came out, it was just in a fucking YouTube short, that's all it was. I don't know who this guy was, I don't remember his name, but he was talking about the fact that there was a Secret Service agent in the front passenger seat appeared to have picked up a pistol from his lap and fired the second shot behind his shoulder, hitting JFK right through the forehead. And watching the video, seeing it back, the Secret Service agent does pick up his hand like this above his shoulder at the moment the bullet goes through JFK's head. So it would look like that. And from the angle of where he was hit, it was like, oh, it does kind of look like that. I call bullshit, but then we got into a conversation of the just countless list of conspiracy theories that revolve around the JFK assassination. Where, pick your poison when it comes to that. Yep. But that was an entirely new perspective that I just popped up on in my rabbit hole of YouTube.
I've heard that one recently, like within the last couple of years, that the driver actually shot JFK. I've also heard Jackie shot him. And that whole
I think the video proves that she didn't, right?
So,
let's be honest. Everybody shot him. The driver shot him. Jackie shot him. John Wilkes Booth shot him. John F. Trump shot him. Everybody shot him.
Everybody shot him at the same. It was all synchronized shots from
John
like
Wilkes
fucking
Booth.
5 different guns.
The time traveler.
Oh man.
So
Maybe
here's
it was Hitler.
Now I'm gonna bring this back to last week when we were talking about the Mandela effect. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the video, it's a 4-door convertible. That's what everybody remembers. Then
was it in my mind? It's a 2-door.
Then you go to the because they had suicide doors. Like everybody remembers the suicide doors in that model car, right? You go to the JFK Assassination Museum in Dallas, Texas, and they have a reproduction of that car. It's a 2-door car.
I don't remember it being 4-door.
So, exactly. There's some of us who remember it being 4-door, and then you go back and look at the video, and the video shows it being a 2-door car. But there's people who swear up and down that the video has been changed. And I'm one of those people. I swear up and down the video that you see nowadays is not the video
it's definitely
I
a 4-door.
I can't even imagine.
Wait a second. Yeah, it's definitely a 4-door. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because it's got the rear, the back seat doors are the suicide doors that open up.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. I'm only 12 years old, so I've never seen one of those cars in real life anyways.
The JFK Assassination Museum has the same car in it, and it's a 2-door. Check that out, son.
It's not the Henry Ford Museum, is it? Because
I hope not.
That's a Ford.
Henry Ford was a Nazi. He was.
Did you guys know Hitler's a time traveler?
Do you know we're all time travelers?
Facts.
That's my Matthew McConaughey impression. You know we're all time travelers. Do you know I'm a time traveler? You're a time traveler. We're all time travelers. Traveling through time.
Don't know the movie.
Well, you know the actor.
Yeah.
Okay. Eat a dick.
Man, so yeah, definitely a 4-door. So whatever they have in that museum.
Now, so since we've been doing the podcast, we've been on the podcast now for about 2 hours and 6 minutes and 43 seconds. Since we've been on the podcast, there's been some extra things added to my script. I don't know what these things are.
That was added before the podcast even started. So I thought we could, if this kind of turns into a frequent thing, I don't know, if we find funny ones that deserve to be shared, which I'm sure there's no limit of. This is just the LA area that I pulled from, but what this is are Craigslist misconnections. You may have heard of these before. Have you not heard of these?
What's a missed connection? What is that?
Basically, say you're out at the grocery store, right?
All right. Track it.
You see a cute girl.
Yep. Okay.
You're sitting there trying to grab some eggs. She's grabbing some cheese. You guys lock eyes for a second. Never say a word to each other.
Never happened.
You go on throughout your shopping experience, checkout, never to be seen again.
No.
But then you can't get her out of your mind, or she can't get you out of her mind.
I've never missed a connection.
She takes to Craigslist misconnections in her area and describes the experience and says, "Hey, you were the sexy bald-headed guy with aviators in the store
and an undyed
beard, trying to buy a half dozen of eggs.
Kind of smelled like a time traveler.
You smelled like a time traveler, and I'm upset that we weren't able to connect. Reply.
Okay.
Talk to me.
Right. I'm
and then in hopes that other person will then go on the misconnections, doing the same thing and being like, "Oh, that's me. I'm the guy."
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure they get a whole bunch of guys that are like, "Oh, I'm the guy."
So
even though they're not the guy.
We're about to talk about some of these.
We're about to get into a couple of these. These are just 4 in the LA area. I just pulled some quick. This was like 5 minutes before we even started the podcast.
Is
so
this
it was like I didn't have a lot of time to prepare.
All right. Is this like LA proper, or is this like LA County, or is this like just some dude
like
named
LA County?
Okay.
LA County.
All right.
So the first one, the title of it is Tajin Sprankle? Is that a Tajin Sprankle?
That's how you say sprankle.
Is that a store?
That's how you say sprankle. Got some sprinkles on
it. Got a sprained ankle. Got a sprankle. So at the grocery store, in line, me, bearded, tatted, a little husky, you, kind of foxy, in a black denim. Some ink peeking out of crevices. You asked me about my TV dinners. Kind of caught me off guard. Like to get to know you well.
That's weird.
That was it. Full stop.
Yeah, I've never had anybody ask me about my TV dinners.
And no one ever asked me about my TV dinners. Ever, right? Bro. You know how many times I bought those things?
And
no one ever said a fucking word.
Like, hey,
no one's ever said a word.
What's up with these TV dinners?
Next up,
all right,
we got to the Latino man in the shop in 7-Eleven. You were looking really good, and you were surrounded by friends that I couldn't work up the courage to say hi, but you kind of smiled at me. You had tight pants, and I could see something I liked. Send a photo on first email for me to reply.
Yeah.
So this dude was rocking bulge, and she was like, "All right, bro. Okay, I see what you're bagging. Let's fucking."
Yeah, it was a TV dinner in there.
Too bad you didn't have if he had a TV dinner, dude, she'd be the one getting on her knees with the ring.
He had a TV dinner in his pocket, bud.
Dude.
Is that
Next
TV
up,
dinner in your pocket? You happy to see
me? Cross paths at Del Amo, I'm assuming, mall in Torrance. Anyone that lives in California is going to be like, fucking, correct me, call me an idiot. But
fine.
We were outside the AMC in Del Amo last Friday, and we were both waiting in line for tickets. I later saw you again on my way to the restroom. You had a large popcorn, and you smiled at me. Let's meet. Send me a photo of your large popcorn on first email for a reply. Just assuming that she definitely took a picture of her popcorn that night.
Yeah.
And she's going to be able to send it to you.
What?
It's just an odd, it's just an odd request. Like, send me a picture of your large popcorn. Okay. Okay. Just let me hop back to AMC real quick, order a large popcorn, get this misconnection underway.
Right. Just send her a picture of your TV dinner.
And now, by far, the most weird one that I found just seconds before you went live is looking for my older mommy. You nursed me for a few weeks, but we lost touch. I miss the closeness and comfort in your arms. You were older, 50s or 60s, thick and curvy. Please find me, mommy.
Gross.
So there we go. That's just a little taste of what I mean. That's a 5-minute jump onto misconnections. Okay.
I wonder if that was Shania.
Oh, it might have been Shania he's talking about.
That's what I'm saying. I think Shania might be his.
And she seems like the nursing comforting type, doesn't she?
Thick and curvy. Please find me, mommy.
Yeah. Man,
I can see that.
She's about to make him feel like a woman, right? Dude. So that's misconnections.
That's misconnections. Thank you for that segment. I appreciate that, man. That's awesome. Pretty good. All right. So from the people, this is from my producer Casey Ramadajan. So Casey sent me a list of you guys who subscribed in the last couple of weeks, and she wanted me to read them out on the channel. So here you are. The faithful rebels in the Indie Rebellion. Mark Burris, thank you very much. Brian Gray, thank you, Brian. Steennet has steen some things. Thank you. Appreciate you. And the Kodiak 77, I know where he came from. Thank you, Kodiak, for being here. No, go ahead. Uh-oh. I think Boone's cutting out. It's time to get off the podcast.
Oh, what?
Oh, there he is. You're back.
Say what now?
What were you going to say about Kodiak?
I was just reiterating your thank you, and then you just made it awkward. So I fucking take it back. Okay. Take it back now.
Yeah, fuck you, Kodiak. No, thanks, man, for being a subscriber. Send any questions for the show to our producer. If you have anything you'd like to ask Mania, if you have anything that you'd like to ask Boone or myself, go ahead and send that to Casey Ramadajan or kramaadajan at gmail.com. That's our producer. She'll make sure that gets forwarded to us, respectively, either Boone, myself, or Mania. And if you want your picture on the podcast, or you have something funny to say, or if you want to share a story, however you want to communicate with the cast.
If we can get some picture submissions of your large popcorns,
yes, that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. If you have a missing connections IRL that you would like to share, we can share a missing connections straight up on this podcast, for real. So that'd be fun. For real. That'd be great. Otherwise, you guys have been great. Boone, you're awesome. Mania, you're awesome. Again, links are in the comments section to all their stuff.